left, so I would address her in absentia. Thank you, Nahid, for this launch and introducing such a brilliant group of people sitting over here. I'm a layman when it comes to technology, and I know I'm among the brains sitting over here, the technical experts. So I'm not here to give you a lesson on IT, but to present a picture of the IT world in Pakistan, what the status is, what our policies are, what are the opportunities over there, how much talent is there, what scope capital ventures may have to invest in that sector. Um, Today we see the youngsters. There was a time when technology was a luxury, but now it's a necessity. It's part of our life. We see the youngsters sitting here. Maybe tomorrow I see babies, tech babies sitting over here, or maybe tech infants sitting over here. So thank God I won't be here in this world to see that. So what I have brought from Pakistan is basically information related to what is the situation of IT in Pakistan or IT-enabled services in Pakistan. Pakistan's IT sector has a promising future, brimming with talent and potential to become the largest export industry of the country. Over the last 5 years, IT export remittances have increased. This is just to give you an idea as to what the situation in Pakistan is and how the growth is there. It increased by 151% at the cumulative growth rate of 20% annually, which is the highest growth rate in any sector in Pakistan. And it is among the top net exporters of the country, with the highest net exporter in the services industry. There is an enormous human knowledge capital potential. She already mentioned about the size of the population. It's 220 million according to the latest census, and among them we have a youth population of 64%, which is under the age of 29 years, and then in that there is a 30% of population which is in the age group of 15 to 29. Pakistan is ranked third most financially attractive location in the world for offshore services, according to the AT Kearney Global Services Location Index 2017. Several international companies, including global enterprises like Bentley, Ciclum, IBM, Mentor Graphics, S&P Global, Symantec, Teradata, and VMware, have established global consulting services centers, research and development facilities, and BPO support services centers in Pakistan. This is just to give you a brief picture as to how global enterprises have got attracted to Pakistan. There are more than 6,000 IT and allied companies currently registered with Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan, comprising of both domestic and export-oriented enterprises. The Pakistan Software Export Board has over 3,000 active member companies. There are 300,000 plus English-speaking IT professionals with expertise in current and emerging IT products and technologies, and over 20,000 IT graduates and engineers are being produced every year. They are looking for definitely avenues to consume their talent. Or use their talent. The number of IT companies is expected to surge with the rise of entrepreneurship in the younger population of the country. In addition, and this is where the scope is for those who want to venture in Pakistan. In addition, freelancers and independent consultants are making their own mark in IT-enabled services in Pakistan, as Pakistan is ranked third most popular country for freelancing in the online labor index published in July 2018 by Oxford Internet Institute, OII. According to Pakistan's Software Export Board and Industrial Leadership, Pakistan's IT exports have they're close to 3.5 billion US dollars. And with the kind of growth rate which I just mentioned, 20% annually, I think this is going to become the largest net exporter industry in Pakistan. So let me just dwell on Some more statistics. Currently, our largest IT export market is North America, accounting for 55% of IT export remittances. Let's hope that London actually overtakes that. Then followed by Europe, which is of which you are still part, 17%. Nothing, no offense meant to. I'm not mentioning Brexit. APAC region is 15%, Middle East is 11%. The cellular mobile phone companies represent a huge market, reflecting a promising IT landscape in Pakistan. Over 85% of telecommunication infrastructure is on fiber optics. We started off with this fiber optics in 1980s. I think we were one of the lead countries in this regard. And internet access is available in over 2,000 cities and towns across Pakistan. There are 5 international cables terminating in the country, making bandwidth very affordable. The density in Pakistan has crossed 73%, with 3G and 4G users totaling 61 million, which is 29% of the total population. Broadband penetration is already over 30% with 64 million users. So I'm just giving you the statistics to give you an idea as to what you are going to actually deal with should you decide to enter into Pakistan or venture into Pakistan market. The government of Pakistan continues to facilitate the IT industry. So I'm going to give you, I have a list of areas of expertise. I believe that after this today's launch, you will be in touch with all those who are interested to venture into the market in Pakistan. So I'll provide you with the details because I don't want to take much of your time. There are investment opportunities which I mentioned here. I'll just quickly go through it in terms of company acquisitions and mergers, high growth IT startups, which you mentioned, venture capital funds, IT parks, software development centers. So these are the investment areas and where the government of Pakistan finds that there the opportunities are. So I'm omitting a few more like technology incubators, etc. The data centers also, there's so much of outsourcing there in Pakistan. So in terms of incentives, the government's incentives for IT industry includes tax holiday for venture capital funds until 2024, zero income tax on IT exports till June 2025, income tax exemption to Pakistan software export board registered IT startups for 3 years with no minimum or withholding tax, incentivizing entrepreneurship and innovation in the country. 100% equity ownership allowed for foreign investors. 100% repatriation of capital and dividends and no questions asked. I think we are one of the most liberal investment policies in the region. And Pakistan is the leading software destination for IT and IT-enabled services with over 3,000 IT companies serving global enterprises in 100 countries across America, Europe, Middle East, Asia, Africa, and Australia. Global enterprises like Teradata, Bentley, I mentioned all these names earlier also, have established their development in global consulting centers in Pakistan. Pakistan has a growing number of talented designers, developers, architects, consultants, and a pool of over 300,000 English-speaking IT professionals. Savings of 50 to 70% in annual operational costs can be gained. This is one area which you can look into. Gained by setting up R&D centers. You mentioned about it, that instead of just having a shop, we can have a manufacturing hub. Convert Pakistan into a manufacturing hub. So the R&D centers, that would be required, tech support, customer service support services, sales, marketing centers in Pakistan. These are the areas where we will venture in. Emerging e-commerce segment of Pakistan. After 3G and 4G launch, the number of broadband users is growing rapidly, having crossed 62 million. Pakistan is the leader in mobile banking transaction in South Asia, which is a very strong area of the UK. With 11% of citizens using mobile phones to carry out financial transactions. Mobile-based digital finance users are expected to cross over 50 million by 2020. E-commerce, that is next year. E-commerce businesses like Daraz.tk, Parkwheels.com and others are already generating significant business in Pakistan, going at a very fast pace. Let me also touch upon another area. As you know that, while I'm sitting among the technical experts, I just want to throw some light on how AI, blockchain technology, IoT, Internet of Things, and big data, etc., are going to penetrate and command the business transactions across the world. So Pakistan would be no exception in this regard. We are looking for, this is another area where you can look into venturing in, and that is we don't have too many institutions of emerging technologies. I'm working on it, and I'm looking for those who want to, those technology universities in UK who want to take their campuses to Pakistan to deliver this degree programs in AI, blockchain technology, Internet of Things, and all these things. You also mentioned about CPAC. You also mentioned about Tech Corridor. CPAC indeed is something which is a project that started in 2015. It's a 15 years long project. At the moment, China is the main investor, which has brought in about $68 billion up to now. $23.8 billion has been invested in the energy sector, which will actually drive all the industries in all these sectors where the growth is expected. But this corridor basically is